You have now entered the lab, episode 113. I am Elvis Escobar. That guy in the shades is Fort Sama. This episode, of course, brought to you by Broward Vintage. I am rocking, not Broward Vintage today. I'm rocking Mackey's World because I just got this recently and trying to try multiple fits, but they're a partner of a partner. So shout out to Mackey. Shout out Broward Vintage. Obviously, get your clothes vintage online, eBay. It's lit in the link tree. As always, we promote it as much as possible. Clothes posted every single day. I think he's listing anywhere from 10 to 20 new clothes, new items every single day. So go check it out. It changes every day. This episode, a little delay. I'll get into that in a moment before we get to know Fort Sama's week and stuff. I have a lot to talk about my week, recapping my weekend. I had a crazy 48 hours, 36 hours of my weekend. So I'll just, I'll just ask you how your week's going. Obviously, if you're tuning in for the first time, we'll always have, after this episode airs and debuts, after it closes down. Right now, we're live on X and YouTube, but once we close down, I edit it over the next hour or two, and then it will be posted before 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with some timestamps so you can go through the episode. We're trying to get to 200 subs, even more. So definitely subscribe and like and tell a friend. So Fort Sama, what's going on in your life, man? How was your week? We'll catch up. We didn't talk.
It's good, man.
Another week of not really talking much, which
man,
I kind of like in a way because you're doing your thing, but also we get to catch up. This is like real life talking shop. So it's not pre-planned or anything. So I literally have no idea what you did this week. So what's going on, bro?
No, man, I really haven't even been able to talk to anybody besides my brother, really. We did the live on Saturday night for the UFC card, the pay-per-view, 298. And I've been slammed with work, man. It's a blessing, honestly. Even though
Nice.
I have a lot more free time, but I'm still staying busy. Been back in the gym, grinding. It's been good, man. It's been good. I enjoy what I have going on right now. I'm really here for it. I feel like everything is trending in the right direction as far as work-wise goes.
Uneventful in a good way.
Yeah, nothing crazy. No stories. No stories this week, really. Nothing out of pocket. I didn't have to, reality check anyone this week. Everything was cool. We've been busy, man. Today we were popping because of President's Day, so kids were out of school. Everyone was out shopping, doing their thing. I worked from 9 to 6 today. It was cool, man. It was fun. I really enjoyed my time there. I'm just making my presence felt. And
love it.
I did legs at the gym on Friday. I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling it, man. It kind of sucks because I was nervous to do legs because I hadn't done legs in a few weeks, and I knew I was gonna feel it. I knew I was gonna feel it, and that's for sure. I went a little bit harder than I should have, but it was only because kind of to punish myself because I haven't done it in so long. So I was like, all right, motherfucker, you got to get back on track. Got to do your thing. Got to get back with the program. So it's cool, man. I don't work till 11 tomorrow, so I'll probably try and wake up a little bit earlier. Maybe hit the gym in the morning because I work all day after 11 to 3 and then 4 to 10. But it's been good, man. It's been good. I'm really excited to what the near future holds and the long future. I definitely see myself in a different spot in the next year. Work-wise.
I mean, work-wise, money-wise, maybe location-wise. Selfishly, of course, I'll always accept you back to the motherland of South Florida. Hopefully you things work out, things get aligned. You don't want to force it, but hopefully it gets aligned where you move back here and we could do. I would love to do in-person episodes. Quality would be better as far as flow of conversations and stuff like that. What we could do, in a neutral site or something like that, we could get more creative. But we appreciate everybody for tuning into the beginning of this live episode. We're a little late, so you didn't miss much. Definitely comment on as we go along about what we're talking about, what you want to talk about, bring up some topics, bring up discussions. We don't have not much sports going on, so we'll kind of dip and dive into random things throughout the episode, and then we'll have some fun with it.
That is the truth, Evan. Leg day is definitely 2 days of pain after, and the second day is worse than the day after.
Yeah,
That is
I don't
facts.
feel it.
You feel
I
it
actually
more.
did. I actually did some legs the other day because I haven't done it in like a month because we've been kind of inconsistent with the gym. So I did it, a light leg day just to get it flowing. I got to remember to throw that into my repertoire routine. I didn't get too sore because I kept it very light. I know better. Don't go too far in on your first day getting back when you haven't done it in a week. So I did very lightweight, more reps. So yeah, sorry for the delay again. I had to. Everybody can relate to this, I'm sure. Is when you let one out, I shouldn't have trusted it because before the pod, I went to the bathroom for a little bit. I went camping this weekend. I'll talk a little in detail of that. And when you go camping, your body kind of knows you're not at home, you're not comfortable, so you're probably not going to go to the bathroom. It wasn't a glamping type situation. We had access to a proper bathroom and stuff, but my body knows if I'm not home, it doesn't really respond unless I really need to. So I almost let one out right when I hit record. Thank God I didn't, because that almost turned into an accident. I had to check my, full disclosure, I had to check my draws. And good thing, no, yeah, I'm in the clear. Nothing came about it. But I think I woke up Friday not feeling well. I had like flu-like symptoms. Shout out Bree, of course. She helped me out lots of all day on Friday. Still went to the gym. I powered through the gym because I was like, all right, if you feel under the weather, go to the gym, sweating it out. So I wore a hoodie to the gym, try to sweat it out. Didn't make me feel worse, but as the hours went on throughout the day on Friday, it felt a little worse. So, yeah, flu-like symptoms, a lot of tea, a lot of vitamins, the good vitamins, a lot of liquids. I just felt bad. And then I had this camping thing that we were doing for somebody's birthday in Miramar. We got up, dude, it was great. The house is multi-million-dollar house. The acreage, I don't even know. I want to say like 5 to 6 acres, probably more than that. Horses in the back, goats. We had a full-on camp site in the back. We had fire, barbecue, all that. But my body, I woke up Saturday morning, I think at 3 a.m. in a sweat. I went to bed. That's how I know my body is not well, when I can't tell how hot or cold I am. I'm like neutral. Had sweatpants on and a hoodie on all day, and I wasn't hot or I wasn't cold. My body started to warm up a little bit, and I fought off the 24, 36-hour bug. Maybe good thing I didn't get that jab in the side of the arm, because my body is.
Did you say you fought it off or you farted it off?
I fought it off, but all day Friday, I'm telling you, it was leakage out of the bum area for sure. So
Man,
it's
gotta be a terrible feeling, bro.
it was definitely a bug. Everybody can relate, but I only did what I do. I didn't even take medicine, honestly. I didn't take any Tylenol or aspirin or anything. I think I took Dayquil when I woke up Saturday, but I didn't take medicine. I just did home remedies, stuff like that, and I fought it off in 24, 36 hours. So pretty good, with the help. I took a bath, great bath, Epsom salts. Bree hooked it up. I have a picture of it. I'll show you. It's pretty not graphic. The region is covered, but I sat in a nice hot steamy bath for about an hour, and that I think that was the last cure of it during Saturday right before we went camping. And then camping was crazy. Camping was fun. Got to relax. Didn't feel well, but fought through it. Had fun. And then the next day, obviously, I knew it was going to rain all day Sunday, but man, I didn't know it was going to be like a minor hurricane in South Florida, where we had one window to leave on Sunday morning from the camp area or the backyard, and that time was from 8 to 10. We missed that because we went to bed late, so me and Bree slept in. The birthday girl, Mediella, and me, Bree, and her, we all got stuck in a tent basically because we missed that window to leave, and it was torrential downpour. So we stayed up. We chilled. We played games and stuff like that. And then I had to load up the car. It was a poop show in many ways, but we survived. We had fun, and that's what it is. I think going camping 2 or 3 times before this one in the real campsite, like where you don't have a bathroom and everything, really trained me to like control your controllables when you're camping. If it's raining, nothing you could do. Don't complain about it. If there's bugs, don't complain about it. Like, just figure it all out. I think I'm glad I went camping a few times to get ready for this, because I think I handled it very well. It was crazy, and that's why today my body's getting used to being home, and I haven't been eating well in the last 48 hours. So my body's catching up to the domestic life that I'm always home for. So it's been a struggle for the last 72 hours of my life. Battled through it, bro.
Yeah, Bree sent some snaps in the Snapchat chat we have, and that it definitely didn't look fun. But when you go camping, that's one of those things you sign up for. You know it's possibly going to rain. You know you're going to be in a tent. You know you're going to be in a sleeping bag. You know there's going to be bugs. You know it's not going to be a normal time, but you're gonna have some fun.
Yeah,
I myself have been kind of struggling the last day or two. I woke up. What's today? Monday. I woke up Sunday yesterday at like 8 something, and like my jaw felt kind of stiff. I was like, "What the heck?" And like my shoulder was annoying me, and like I was just like kind of out of breath. I was like, "This is kind of weird." Like, not normal for me waking up. I normally wake up all right and get out, get some sunshine. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like yesterday or Saturday when I was doing the trash at work. It was a little chilly. I didn't have a hoodie on, so maybe affected my face a little bit. My sinuses right here is kind of like my nose is a little puffy. So yeah, I was talking to my mom just before, and she's like, "Oh, are you sick?" I was like, "No, I'm not sick." She's like, "You feel bad?" I was like, "No, but I don't feel normal." She's like, "Oh yeah, your voice sounds a little different. Like I can hear it." So I've been kind of fighting some stuff too the last 20, 24, 36 hours. So
yeah, everybody knows their body, and especially me, that I don't get sick often. I know exactly. I had a scratchy throat Thursday evening, but I thought it might be from the tea that I had, and it made me like my throat scratchy. And then once I woke up Friday morning, I was like, "Oh no, this is something building up." But I also knew that it wasn't going to turn into anything more than what it was, so that's why I attacked the problem. Like I said, I went to the gym, tons of tea, tons of vitamins, and all that. And there's ways to fight it other than just generic medicine and all that, because that's a quick fix, or that's sometimes doesn't fix your problem. For my body, it responds to more like home remedies and simple stuff. So I knew it wasn't going to be like something that I was out of commission for 3 days. By the time I woke up Saturday, I was better, but having that bath and doing all the things that you had to do. So I'm glad I got to enjoy the camping day on Saturday. And then yesterday was just a crazy whirlwind. The wind was going, packed the car, and then left and got home and got to relax the rest of the day. So fun weekend, but it took a couple days. Now that it's Monday, it took another day for me to recover from that. But now I'm back into my weekly routine. I'm going to Panthers game tomorrow night. My boy Emilio that I met at the Panthers game, he's a part-time season ticket holder. He hit me up like, where you been last week? He's like, "Oh, my birthday's Tuesday. You coming to the game?" I'm like, "Damn." See, I was thinking about going to the game this week because I haven't been to a game in like a month or so. I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go to the game, chill with him. He's got a bunch of people going. Now Drew just hit me up. He's gonna go to the game. I just got tickets like last minute, just trying to figure it out. But that should be fun. But I'm glad I'm able to
gotta hit up Keen Centrics.
Yeah, I'll probably hit up people soon and see who's going to the game and have some fun, because Panthers are on fire. Panthers are first in the East. I think now Boston won today, so they are. Let's see, they are right now. They are second, but only by a point. So if they win tomorrow versus a very low end team, Ottawa, they should be back in first place. But they've been fun. They won 10 road games in a row. They the NHL record's like 12. So they got 2 or 3, and it looks like they could do that if they continue to play. But man, the Panthers, now that the Nets are basically, either not going to make the playoffs or just going to get into the play-in, and they probably won't win a game. They just fired their head coach. It's kind of like a shit show. So I'm glad I have the Panthers to root for and watch, because it's good quality sports and something I can watch now. Obviously, with baseball coming back a little bit of excitement going into the summer and the spring. So different change of scenery as far as sports. Now the football's gone, but we'll Until the Lab will continue to provide content as best we can, non-sports related.
Yeah, that was another thing weird
then,
about
you know.
yesterday, man. Being Sunday and no football on. It was the first Sunday with no football. I think that definitely hindered what I had going on and affected me subconsciously.
Oh yeah,
I was like, man, yeah, for sure. I think so. It was a weird day yesterday, man. I don't know what it was. It was a weird Sunday. Saturday was long, man.
how was the weather by you guys? Because
It's
obviously,
been gloomy,
South Florida
bro.
was all day rain.
It's been gloomy, overcast, not much sunshine. I feel like I'm in fucking England, bro, or Seattle. It's trash. It's
Yeah,
trash lately. Chilly, cold, windy. Not what's
yeah.
up, man. Not what's up. If we gotten some sunshine, it's been for a little bit, but lately, the last half the week, it's been pretty trash.
Yeah, it didn't rain all week last week. It's kind of been very good temperature wise down here. We just had one full day of rain, and we needed it. My grass could use some water, a lot of water, but yeah. So bounce back. Like I said, episode 113. We'll throw some topics your way, and then comment, share some things. We had the NBA All-Star weekend this week. It was different for me. Like I said, I was kind of out of touch with things on
Did
Saturday.
you tune in?
Back Sunday, very lightly. Yeah,
I didn't
let's go
tune in at
into
all. I kind of want
no,
to talk
yeah,
about this a little bit because
yeah. Let's go into NBA All-Star weekend. Why not?
All-Star Weekend used to be
Stop
top
everything,
two,
right?
top two, top three moments of the NBA season and of early moments of the year because it's always around, Valentine's Day, a little bit after
Yeah.
Super Bowl. And I think it's just the dunk contest isn't what it used to be, man. I think the last good dunk contest we had was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon that I can really remember,
What was that? 8 years
because
ago?
it was a while ago. They were
I
both
say
on
8,
different
not
teams.
knowing it could have been 15 years ago, but I just threw a random.
You know?
8 seems like a good number, but
Well, I
probably
mean,
about 8.
after COVID, years just kind of just all
Yeah.
are
I
bundled up
have that in
together.
my head. Before COVID, after COVID. That's kind of like my
It was
2020. Like
before COVID,
it
that's
was
for sure.
definitely before COVID, and then I just throw a
Yeah,
couple more years out there and be like, all right, it's probably like
yeah.
2016, 2015.
The one thing I was excited about, and I didn't tune in because I was watching the UFC card. That UFC is always going to trump anything that's going on, unless it's
Yeah, we'll get into a nice little recap of that in a little bit.
playing in a championship game or something. But
Yeah.
oh shit, this isn't hitting right now.
Mm.
The one thing I was interested to watch, I might go back and watch it on YouTube, was that 3-point tournament thing that they were going to do with Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu.
Rescue. Yep.
And I said this on the pod. I said she's going to shoot from NBA range. She's not going to want WNBA. And she went and she said, I'm going to shoot from NBA range. I want
like
it all
that.
to be equal. I like it too. So I'm going to go back and watch that. I didn't really see too much on Twitter. The most stuff I saw on Twitter was, the dunk contest, Jamie Jacquez Jr. dunking over Shaq. That was pretty cool. How the court looked. They put the Mexican flag on him when he did one of his dunks.
That's cool.
He had a customized Heat Cultura jersey.
What do you think about the court now that you brought it up? What do you think about the court?
I thought it was cool. I thought it's cool how they're going to do that. I mean, I have a video I'm going to share later on about
that's something you bring out once. You got to keep doing it because I thought it was very interactive, especially for the celebrity game. They did some fun things with it to make it more about like they made it less of an actual game and made it more of like almost like a video game, which is cool because it's a celebrity game. It's supposed to be like chaos and fun, and that's why you watch it. They did a lot of cool things like that, like people on fire. So like a 2-pointer turned into 6 points and stuff like that.
Oh,
I love that. Like that's how you just create a bunch of
they
chaos with it.
They gotta bring in more things because it is a new generation. It is a new era of things coming into light with social media, with the AI stuff. That's insane right now. I got a few videos I'm going to share about that, but I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just now the All-Star. I forget what page posted it, but they were saying should the winner of the NBA All-Star game get home court advantage for the finals? And I'm like, hell no. That should definitely not happen because none of these players take it serious. I mean, Anthony Edwards said he was going to shoot left-handed the whole game. Did he or did he not?
He
I
did
don't
that
know.
in the skills competition. I seen one
He was
highlight.
shooting
He was shooting
left-handed.
lefty.
Yeah, shooting
That's
lefty.
not good. That's not a good look for the NBA.
Yeah, they took his props down, his points over under. They took it down on FanDuel and DraftKings, and it dropped down a lot. It dropped down from like 16.5 to like I think 12.5. Don't quote me on that, but I mean that right there just goes to show you how lightly these players are taking it. And also at the end of the day, when these players are playing in regular games, they're competitive to a part, but
yeah,
when it's the All-Star game, you can really see that most of these guys are really friends and they're cool with each other. And I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Like just 15, 20 years ago, it was they always got together as friends or whatnot, but there was more competitive fire. Like you wanted to win that game. Now they're just like, oh, I don't really care. I'm out here to, showcase my shoes, showcase my brand, showcase what I have going on, showcase my fit. And I think that's what the NBA has turned into the last 5 years. And
I hate to say it. One thing that, where social media giveth, social media taketh away, because I believe that if you track how big social media has gotten and how the NBA weekend has gotten, its quality of NBA weekend has gone down as social media goes up for many reasons. I think some of the reasons are the athletes feel a lot more pressure, to embarrass themselves, or the pressure of being in a dunk contest and getting booed and having that clip out there, which in my opinion, if that's how you're gonna think about, it's just a natural human thing to do, I guess. Think about. But it's we're talking about humans here, that they don't want to be embarrassed, or they don't want to put too many things on film.
But also,
Jaylen Brown got criticized a lot for his dunks, and he got booed. He got booed at the first ever time.
But bro, what are we really even talking about here? We talk on this podcast about it all the time. You got to be comfortable with yourself. You got to be able to make fun of yourself. If we can do that as regular humans that are not making as much money as these dudes are,
yeah, and
are not on the same level as these dudes are, like, bro, who cares if you got it? Like, that shit, who cares, bro? Like, go out there. We know you can dunk. We know you can do crazy ass shit. So if you fuck up a dunk, like, it is what it is. Clip it. It doesn't matter. I saw something about Kendrick Perkins and all them boys talking about how LeBron ruined the dunk contest. And of course, everything's always going to come back to LeBron because he's been the face of the league for the last 20 plus years.
As if what? If he would have participated in it, that would.
Yeah, because he's never wanted to participate in it. He's never wanted to do it.
Could have taken it to another level as well.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of prolific dudes do the dunk contest.
Has John Moran ever been in it?
No, I don't think so.
John Moran could have taken it to the next. There's a few guys out there.
They also did like a team. They did a team dunk contest a few years back with John Wall, and I forget who else was in it. But like,
we tried to change it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because you go and watch highlights of high school dunk contests and college dunk contests and stuff like that, and these dudes are actually doing crazy shit. And it could be because there's no pressure on them. I mean, the NBA is out here bringing out Mac McClung. They're parading him. They bring him out once a year for this dunk contest. The dude's not even in the league.
Yeah.
So it could bring some hype to the dunk contest. I don't like
honestly,
that either.
I watched zero minutes of the dunk
dudes
contest,
in the league,
even online.
Like, just be dudes in the league. There should be tryouts for the dunk contest, honestly. Like, I mean, Jamie Jacquez did his thing, but at the same time, Heat fans know who he is because he's been balling. If you're a big NBA fan, you kind of know who he is because he's been balling. But casual NBA fans, they don't really know who Jamie Jacquez is. They're not tuning in to watch him dunk for that. And then you got Jaylen Brown dunking over Kai Cenat, who's 4 foot tall, sitting down, gets a higher score than Triple J dunking over Shaq. I mean, it's a popularity contest. Kenny Smith was getting some backlash. It's all over the place, bro. It's all over the place.
It's good for social media, and I think as a viewer, If I wasn't busy, if I wasn't out of my house and I was home, I probably would have watched it all. I would have consumed everything.
Well, you have
But I
7
think right now,
TVs, so
yeah, I could have managed it. But I think for the average fan, they're just like, you know what? Instead of sitting through that whole 3 hour thing, I'll just catch what's trending on Twitter and just go on and watch it. Which the NBA has
right.
done a great job of social media and getting content out there fast. That's the gift and the curse of social media. So you're not going to get a real fan base watching it. But I think the dunk contest and the accolades of the spectacle of the All-Star weekend has died down. It matured at its
They're
height
not
with
taking that shit
Aaron
serious.
Gordon and all
Scotty
that, and
Barnes
they're
is out
not.
here losing his dribble. He's taking behind the back shots. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's just not what it used to be. It's lost its lure, and it kind of sucks.
Anthony Edwards said it. He was honest, and I love Anthony Edwards because that's somebody he's never going to sugarcoat something, and I respect him not
I
only on
love
the
that.
floor,
Yeah.
off the floor. It's like he was like, we come here and it's a long season, 82 games. Now there's pressure to play in more games, not miss. Everybody's going to get hurt. No matter who you are,
Right.
you're going to get. You're probably going to miss anywhere from 6 to 10 games, regardless of the season, whether it's a big injury or not. You're gonna that brings
Yeah,
you
you
to
got to
what?
rest, bro.
That brings you to 75 games. That means you could only miss 10 more to now qualify for 65. They made it a new
Yeah.
thing. If people don't know, 65 games puts you into all NBA and all the accolades, and that is a major pay grade when you have to negotiate
I'm
your deal. So people look at this
I'm
as a
cool
rest,
with that.
and they should rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They call it the All-Star break, but the All-Stars aren't breaking. I'm cool with if you miss a certain amount of games, you can't qualify for awards because at the end of the day, we talk about this too, what makes a player valuable? Being able to play and being there for your team and
Yeah.
getting the most amount of minutes and showing up. But when that starts affecting how much they're getting paid, like Halliburton, if he misses 2 more games, he's going to lose out on 40 million. Once you start going into these players' pockets, yeah, they already have a lot of money, but we're not talking about 1, 2, 3 million. We're talking about 40 mil, bro. That's
Yeah.
something that could make or break you, 10 years down the line. Once you're retired, you might need that. That's something that he's got kids later on, he could put that into his kids or whatever. But I'm cool with the part where they lose out on awards. You got to show up. You can't be MVP and only play 50 games. You're not an MVP. You missed a third of the season. So I'm
Yeah,
cool
the
with that.
NHL tried to do something, to go along with this All-Star to make it more competitive. These guys is you throw money at it. I think the NHL did it with their skills competition where Connor McDavid is, excuse me, like the best in the league, and he's skill wise, he's the best athlete they have in the league. And they put $1 million, and he won $1 million. And for hockey, they don't make as much as NBA players. Hockey players, I think the best player makes anywhere from 10 to 12, 11 to 13 million per year. So giving them $1 million,
Plus, also,
meaning that's 10%, 11% of their salary to the best player, meaning
yeah,
somebody else to win in. That could be like 20% of your salary. I think the NBA is going to have to give these 3-point contests and these dunk contests like a big purse. I don't mean 1 million. You're going to have to do 2 or 3 mil, and
I
they
mean,
could pull together
look at
some
what
cash, put it
look at
for
what they
these
did
guys.
with the in-season tournament. Second
Yeah.
place got 250, and first place got 500K. You saw Braun balling out for that 500K.
And that'll only
Some of
go
those,
up. That'll only
yeah,
go up with advertisement and how serious they take
I think
the game.
it also affects with just the NBA where it's at as a worldwide league. I don't watch too much hockey, so I'm not sure, but I don't think hockey is as big around the world as the NBA is. I think once hockey
It's
gets bigger,
starting to
I don't think hockey
become
players
they're starting, yeah. It's
I
big
don't
in
think
like
hockey
Eastern
players are
Europe and
getting
stuff like that.
as big endorsements either outside
Yeah.
of
They
their
lack
pay playing
personality
hockey.
from a
Right.
fan point of
So
view, yeah.
yeah, so I don't think they're getting those endorsements as NBA players have. Like there's really not much hockey, like what's the word, accessories you can wear on the ice. Like NBA players, you got your shoes that you could rock,
That's the
stuff like
advantage,
that.
yep.
So hockey, like it's just really skates or like a
Yeah.
hockey stick. I don't know, bro. Like I said, I don't watch much
No,
hockey,
but
so
not
I'm not
only
really
that,
sure how they
you
can
just need
accessorize.
it's yes, I agree with that, but I think it's for hockey now that I've watched every Panthers game. Not only watched, I watched the highlights of the games. I just started rewatching the game I missed on Saturday. The Panthers beat their rival, the Lightning, 9-2. So
9-2. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, the only thing to do with hockey isn't selling merchandise. It's more about like personalities, and social media is relatively new. It's still, big time. Social media is only like 5 to 8 years old as far as taking advantage of brand identity and your own entity as a brand. So I think hockey players are like the last. MLB players are kind of figuring that out slowly. I think they just need more personalities in the game because, to me, in my opinion, hockey is like the most pure sport as far as a team sport that I watch right now, and I watch it all. Trust me, it's pure. Everybody's about the team; they're not about themselves. That's the pros and that could be a pro and a con. Where it's like you're too much about the team, you're too unselfish. Where people like drama, people like that big time personality, especially in America. We love that. We thrive on it. Even if we criticize it, we still love it. So I think
don't want peace. I want problems.
Little by little, I think NHL will build up to that. They'll learn it. Obviously, NFL, and NBA has mastered that marketing point of view. But NBA weekend, it's going down. There's not too much you could change. You almost got to bite the bullet. Sometimes things mature at its highest, and then it's all down. We can't compare this weekend to, like you said, the Aaron Gordon weekend and everything. You just got to hope that eventually people tune in, but they're still making money. They're not losing money. So it's not like I'm going to feel bad for them or anything like that.
You think financial is the main way to fix it? Give these players some
it's probably the last thing. It's literally the last thing I think they could do because I think they've been holding out on that purse, that big game purse, because they probably have it in the back of their head like, all right, the only way we're going to get big time guys if we have a $3 million purse to win the dunk contest, $5 million. And you don't want McClung winning a dunk contest and winning $3 million. Like, yeah, that's cool. Good for him. But you would hope that a John Morant, which I'm sure he's not going to do it anymore. Well, he's still young. He could. Jaylen Brown being in it, maybe what before the dunk contest was supposed to be a good thing. But now that he performed poorly, now maybe top tier athletes are like, he didn't perform that well. And he got criticized. Probably not worth it. My time. Probably not worth the money.
Also, they went back to East versus West this year.
Yeah, I think the next thing is America versus the world.
They already do that with rookies and sophomores, right?
No.
It's not the same.
They changed it. They changed it with the Rising Stars.
They're doing too many changes also.
I know. They're trying to figure out what works.
Don't fix it.
They're trying to figure out what works. I think this year with the Rising Stars, they did NBA versus G Leaguers or something like that.
G League, yeah.
And G League won. But they're trying to change it. I love change, but eventually you just gotta stay to it. And the NBA is always very innovative. So I'll never criticize the NBA because they're very willing to change and to realize, all right, something's not working, like they did the East and West again, which I think they should stay with the East and West because they realize it's the same two vote getters winning every single year, LeBron and Giannis, or KD and Giannis, nobody else, Curry. So it's always the same captains of the team. So changing it East and West, I like that. It gives like a little fandom to who you want, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but
before we get off the topic, since we're talking about NBA and All-Star break, and you know how you just said about the NBA being pretty innovative. I haven't watched this video. I don't know if you have. I just sent it to the pod page on Twitter, DM'd it. It was Adam Silver and Victor Wembanyama, and he was showing some new AI thing. I'm going to share the video. I'm watching it for the first time. I don't know if you've seen it before. Have you seen this?
I started to watch it, but I didn't really watch the full thing.
It's a minute and a half. So
it'll be my first time watching it too.
We'll tune in together.
I know from our earlier conversations, you love technology, a bit of a hobby yourself. To me, I often think the NBA is like a great movie. By the way, what's your favorite basketball movie?
I like that French movie Hoosiers. The coach kind of reminds me of Coach Pop. You know what? Let me try it myself.
Okay, go for it.
NBAI. Play Hoosiers.
Peut-être que tout le monde avait raison. Peut-être que nous ne sommes pas à notre place. On les aura, les mecs.
Victor, that's actually an American film. Parts of it, it's based in Indiana. Parts of it were filmed right down the street here.
No, definitely French. You know what? I'm kind of a fan of Spider-Man. Do you think we could watch an NBA game like it's a Spider-Man movie or something?
Well, NBAI is new, but we'll try. So, NBAI, show me the Pacers game as if it were a Spider-Man movie. Generates in real time with the game.
We need to make everything into like more than what it is. We're so unsatisfied as a society. It's crazy. But it's not for us. You know that, right? It's for the younger generation that has to take a normal played game, normal, just standard situation, make it a little extra. And it's sad that we're almost having to go that way just to boost revenue and try to create new ways. But I never try to be. I think we've been doing this podcast or a podcast for 3 years now, 3.5 years, and we're tend to be on the older side of like, damn, let's just go back to the regular programming of watching a game and keeping it simple. But
yeah, I mean, the top comment on that is
keep it going.
The top comment on that post is nobody asked for that. We just want NBA League Pass without local market blackouts. And I think that's one of the first things they need to fix. You can't be doing all this new stuff if people that live in a certain area can't watch their team, their local team. That's especially if you're paying for NBA League Pass. I mean, we have so many streaming services now where you can find a link on the internet and play it. But I mean, if you're paying for something, you should be able to watch any game you want to watch. I'm not trying to watch a basketball game as if it were a Spider-Man movie. That's probably one of the last things I want to do. I don't want to watch a Miami Heat game as if it were, a Scarface movie.
Yeah.
It might be cool for
one time or watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, one time, like a non-important game, but no one's going to sit there and watch a, Eastern Conference Finals as if it were something else. I want to watch
sometimes
the
you gotta,
game.
Sometimes you got to keep it simple.
Back
and
to the basics, man.
The foundation issues that people are worried about. That it's like politics in a way where they try to throw a bunch of things at you to distract you from what really is the problem.
From what the real issue is, exactly.
And now corporate America is kind of like politics, where they do the same things. Where let's throw a bunch of new features, new graphics, and for a day we'll be like, "Wow, that's so cool." You got the Apple Vision that you could do a bunch of cool things with, and that's cool. But like at the end of the day, we still, most of your fans, I would say 90% of them, 95% of them still want to just watch an NBA game and feel like it's not coerced or the referees aren't taking advantage and the game rules are simple and yet explainable. So it's thrown a lot of today's technology, which there's so much technology in the last decade has grown incredibly than versus the other decade, the first decade of technology of 2000, right? From 2000 to 2015 was one thing. 2015 and now, in less amount of years, has taken on a crazy amount of
from 2020 to now, from COVID to now, technology.
Yeah, right. COVID to now is huge. I think COVID to now has done more innovative ideas and gotten so to the point where people don't even have to go into work.
Because motherfuckers had nothing else to do, bro. Yeah. We got stuck in the house for pretty much a whole year, dog.
A lot of tech companies made a lot of money because of COVID, for sure. All right, well, that's the NBA wrap. So feel free to comment. Let us know what other things you liked or didn't like about. Did you see? I want you to play the last thing on NBA, and it's been going viral a little bit. KD rapping a little bit. I think it's a minute if you just type it in.
I haven't
Twitter.
seen that either.
Yeah, bar for bar, I listened to like 30 seconds. It wasn't bad at all. And he's always loved rap. And I think he's done low-key some rapping here and there. But he finally like released like almost an official song type of thing, and it was pretty good. I'll admit it was. I think he has a good passion for it. He probably does it like an outlet. He seems like, him being on my team for 3 years, I kind of got that, where he plays a game, goes home, and is a homebody and likes to do whatever he does, like play video games, be on Twitter with multiple burners, and then rapping, I think, is
You got no
like a
bitches.
side. So
Don't
let's
brush
play it,
your
and
hair.
you tell me what you think.
Block, then we at it again.
Hey yo, look, rest in peace to Barbara Davis. We hit another layer. When she speak to me, it's like she's saying prayers. I feel like Randy Moss when he was on the Raiders. Man, they love the haters. This woman so fine, I give her cash payments. Baby, I'm just so glued to the basics. I wanted more room, so I copped the crib sitting adjacent. In this whole world, I'm Freddie Jason. I'm sitting in the places of great but never complacent. Yeah, baby, I'm a stoner. Yeah, I took that long walk up the hill that made me alone. And nah, baby, I don't like being humble. I hang with mongrels. Gotta pay attention. There's a God sitting amongst you, and you know it.
Block, then we at it again.
I don't know if that was the full clip, but the flow is good. For not being a rapper,
The flow is good.
We've seen a few NBA athletes, cough, cough. What is it? Karl Anthony Towns Aaron Gordon try to spit, and it just sounds horrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dame
who would
Dollar.
let that
Dame
man
Dollar
record?
is pretty
Dame
good.
Dollar is respectable. NBA players always say NBA players want to be rappers, rappers want to be NBA players. That's the common thing.
Rappers want to be ballers, ballers want to be rappers. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I think hip hop culture and basketball, not just the NBA, but they coincide. Because
That urban
just
life,
culture.
that
Yeah,
hustling.
yeah. A lot of rappers come from the same town as a lot of NBA players, and vice versa.
Mhm.
They have a certain demeanor to themselves. Most of them come from certain areas. They come from the mud. They come from having nothing to superstardom, and then they have that in common. So yeah, but no, the flow is good. The flow is good. It seems like he has a passion for it, but I'm here for it. If he wants to drop an album, that's cool. At the end of the day, like we said, these guys are human too. They can have their hobbies. They can have something off the court they like to do in the off season.
Focus on hooping. I'm like, my man can't have another life. He can't have hobbies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You don't go home and you work and you have a career and you don't have anything else you do, you loser. Like, that's why I hate criticism like that. Focus on one thing. It's like the reason why they could focus so much on one thing is like people forget, like Michael Jordan, like was a full-time golfer and gambler in his off time. Like,
this man went and played baseball, bro. He took time
literally
off,
and did well.
Did played another sport.
He retired for a year and a half just to go play baseball because it was his childhood passion that he told his dad he'd always do. People forget about that, and it's like, God forbid LeBron did that. Imagine LeBron did that 5 years ago. Nah, you know what? I'm gonna go play volleyball. I'm gonna go play.
I'm gonna go play football.
Like, we would criticize LeBron so much right now. Like, thank God Jordan did that.
Killed
in, like,
Bron.
Non-social media era.
In the 90s.
He was able to do with that stuff. One thing,
I'm here for it.
I did want to go into UFC 298, but before we go into that, talking about, NBA players want to be rappers or people having hobbies. Mark Zuckerberg, obviously, billionaire, wants, he has his own empire. He's top 5, top 8, whatever in the world of most wealthiest human beings. Before we get to a video that will show you of Mark Zuckerberg in UFC that went completely viral, and people say he's not a human. He's AI himself.
Well, we've said that back in utility players days.
Yeah.
Ben said that. He was like, yeah, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, these guys aren't.
They got Asperger's. They're socially awkward. That's why they're able to take. Most people aren't the most, either you're a very social butterfly or good with words and quick-minded, or you're a nerd. And most people don't have both. And if you have both, you're a lethal weapon in a good way. You're profound. So some geniuses like Elon, he might not be able to have a conversation that sounds, like you would talk with your boys. Same with Mark Zuckerberg. But guess what? They can do. They are geniuses, and they do have that .0001% of what we're able all to do. But one thing I wanted to say before this, because I watched the owner of the Phoenix Suns go on the Pat McAfee show last week, and it got me thinking. And he's worth, I think, 40 billion, something crazy.
He's a tech guy too, right?
Yeah, Matt Ishba. And he was a former athlete, D1 athlete, played for Michigan State, and now he was into mortgages, and that's how he became a billionaire.
Wow, okay.
And it's funny, you watch how these billionaires dress. No jewelry, no designer clothes. They got a hoodie on. They got maybe a snapback. You know, the Utah Jazz is $1 billion. He's young. He's in his 40s. This guy's in his 40s. Like, they dress regular, and it's just so crazy to me when I see these millionaires, thousandaires, or people that don't have money, but they invest all of it in a chain and all this. I'm like, man, it says something about a billionaire. You look at a billionaire walks in a room and you don't know, you will not know based on how they're dressed, how much money they are. You watch somebody that's trying, you know exactly. The more flashy you are, probably the less you have. I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because something that stuck with me, it's stuck with me still to this day. I used to work at a law firm. It was one of my first jobs. I was in high school still. Late 2010, 2011, I started. It was my junior year going into senior year. That summer, I started working there. And I had never met the dude, one of the partners. His name was Glenn Jed. It was Ellis, Jed, and Bodden. Ellis was his wife, Rhonda Ellis, Glenn Jed, and then they had a dude, I think his name was Mark Bodden. I forget what his name was. He was a Jamaican lawyer. He was cool as fuck. But the first time second time I seen him, because the first time I met him was my mom had got in a car accident, and we went there, and he gave us a settlement check, and she kind of helped me get the job. She's like, "Oh, you guys hiring? My son needs a job, blah, 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 blah." And he hooked me up. The second time I seen him, he pulls up in his red Ferrari. I'm like, damn, all right.
That's one thing they always have. They always have nice cars.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I know he got bread. I know he got bread because he's a partner and he's a lawyer, so I know he got bread. He gets out. This dude is wearing a white T-shirt. It's got coffee stains on it. He's wearing ripped up jeans, and he's wearing sandals. And this guy has his own private jet. He's got his own law firm, and he's got a Ferrari. No chains, nothing like that. Coffee stained white tee, V-neck, ripped up jeans, and sandals. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, what the hell is this dude doing, bro? You know, so that stuck with me, bro. It's funny you said that, because I just thought of that shit right now. But yeah, you do see the contrast. Like, you see Mark Cuban. Whenever Mark Cuban's on podcast, he's just wearing a regular ass T-shirt. It's most likely a Mavs T-shirt or whatever. He's wearing some jeans, and he's wearing, I think Mark Cuban is with Skechers or something. He'd be wearing Skechers or some shit like that. You know, so that is true. That is a good point.
Show that video.
I'm out here wearing fucking chains and shit.
Shit, my chain, I got no shame. I'll tell everybody. My two chains
my
that
shit
I rock
fake
every day is from Amazon. Fake, I paid $34 for this one, $27 for this. I don't care.
Yeah,
I just wear it as an
those
accessory.
are some nice ass chains. I'd be like, they fake, bro. Don't try to jack me.
For real. The cavity that I filled in my last month is worth more than my chains. That's for sure.
Is this the one you're talking about when he's octagon side with Volk?
Yep. Look at his hands. Watch his hands.
He doesn't know what to do. He has no idea.
Want me to help you?
He's like trying to grab shit, bro.
Not gonna lie though, that would be me if I was in that situation. Like,
honestly,
you know, you're at a place, so you don't know what to do.
You're out of your element.
Tell you what you're there. So I would be doing. I laughed at it, and I made fun of him to myself as much as anybody else did. But I'm not ashamed to be like, I'd probably do the same exact thing. Like, what do I do with my hands? You always feel like when you're in an awkward situation, what do I do with my hands? So I don't even blame him, but it's just so funny how he always tends to feed into how awkward he is. But that's just him. Billionaires are awkward. But
Yeah, no, he's a big MMA fan. He's a big UFC fan. He's
yeah,
trained with
he could probably beat
Israel
my ass
Adesanya.
in a fight, so that's for
He's
sure.
he's trained with Volk, so that's why he was in his corner, or right there with his team. That's pretty cool. Like we just said, maybe Zuckerberg isn't, but these guys are human. Zuckerberg very well could be an alien, but
Very well.
he's got his thing, and he likes that shit. So that's cool. I mean, he wants to experience different things.
Go into your quick. Let's call it 5 minutes. 5 minutes of a UFC breakdown. UFC 298. Give me a recap of how the night was.
Man, UFC 298, man, what a card, bro. What a fucking card. That shit was stacked pretty much from the prelims on. I didn't really catch too much of the early prelims or the prelims. I was still at work. I got home and just chilled for a little bit. I was mad tired, so I was in and out, like nodding off, waking up here and there. But let me pull up the UFC page just so I can have everything in order.
While you pull that up, I will say, even though it's a camping trip and the vibe of it was let's have a camping in somebody's backyard and we disconnect. Like I said, we had access to outside bathroom that the house had, but for the most part, people didn't have like technology and all that. What did we do as a couple? Me and Bree, we bring karaoke. I brought my iPad with my speaker, and once those the main card started at 10:15, I powered it up, and I basically I'm gonna say I kind of saved the night, or gave a little twist to the night, because I put that iPad on full of the I legally streamed it. I'll just say that. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
And
of course.
I had all of
You
a
had
sudden
a few people split the pay-per-view.
Exactly. On the small little iPad I had like 15 people around me watching the fight. So it was a good vibe. I was glad to contribute to the party in that way. But go ahead, break it down for us.
Yeah, so we went live, myself and the Cuban John Anik, Dequaz, Fort David, before.
I seen that. Somebody told me. They were like, "Oh, your podcast is live right now." I was like, "Oh, damn, they are." I didn't even know that. That was funny.
First fight of the main card was Anthony Hernandez, Roman Kopylov. Roman Kopylov, big up-and-comer, but still kind of new to the UFC. And it showed a little bit. He fought a top 15 guy in his division, Anthony Hernandez. He got finished, rear naked choke. There's a nice clip of Anthony Hernandez when he has that rear naked choke on Kopylov, and he knows it's deep pause. He knows he's got it. He knows dude's about to tap, and he's just like this. He's like nodding his head like, yeah. So that was pretty cool. He got the dub. I think Kopylov just comes back and, faces another maybe unranked guy. He's going to have to, just because he's not ranked now, or he wasn't ranked before, but he's a good fighter. You don't mess with them Russian cats. But once you get into that top 10, top 15, it changes up a little bit. I love this fight right here, Merab and Henry Cejudo. Cejudo is one of the GOATs in the sport, man. He's a triple C. He was double champ. He was Olympic gold medalist wrestler. You got to give him his props. You got to give him his flowers. As corny and cringe he might be outside of the octagon, he's an all-time great. He's he is going to be a UFC Hall of Famer soon. But he's kind of over the hill. We talked about on live how the UFC kind of did him a disservice. His first fight after 2 years retirement, coming back, getting a championship fight, and he still went out there and fought Aljamain Sterling, who was the champ and was on a crazy streak. Just gave him a championship fight. He got a split decision. He got the L, but it was still a split decision. So he still did his thing. Merab is just a unit. Merab his gas tank is insane. He does everything he needs to do. He won by unanimous decision. Merab just keeps coming at you, bro. Pause. Like he's not going to back down from anyone in his division. It doesn't matter. He's number 2. He's going to get a title shot after the Sean O'Malley and Cheeto Vera fight. I don't know if any of those two guys want to see Merab. He literally picked up Cejudo on one side of the octagon, had him on his shoulder, walked him over to Dana, and threw him on the ground and just held Cejudo there. Like I said, an Olympic gold medalist and ground and pound, did his thing. Man, Merab is so cool. He's a funny-ass dude. If you don't follow him on Instagram or Twitter, he's always making content. He's just funny as fuck. And he just does his thing in the octagon. So I'm glad he won. I think Cejudo retired. He said if he loses to Merab, he was going to retire. I think it's just time for Cejudo to train and do whatnot, because he does have one of the best fight IQs ever of any fighter. So I'm looking forward to see who he's going to train, who he's going to take under his wing, and where it goes from there. Jeff Neal, Ian Machado, Gary. This was probably the closest fight on the card, in my opinion. It was a split decision. The first round was real close. Second round kind of leaned to Gary. Same thing with third round. He started turning it up. Ian Gary's been getting a lot of backlash on Instagram, on Twitter, just because of his love life, and he did take his wife's last name, and his trainer, I believe, is his wife's ex-husband, and just, certain shit that, whether it be jokes or not, whether it be true or not, it's still funny, and people are going to get their tweets off. I can relate. I do the same shit, but when he's in the octagon, this guy is one of the best fighters in the world in his division, and he did his thing. It was a split decision. Jeff Neal can box. Jeff Neal did his thing too, but Machado Gary was just a little too much in the last 2 rounds. I look forward to see what Ian Gary does in his next few fights, because he's in that top 9, top 8 range, because Jeff Neal was 8, so he's probably going to jump to 7 or 8 in that division. I look forward to it. Like David said, he's got that superstar factor. He's got that it factor about him. This fight, Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, co-main. This man, there was a moment in the first round where Paulo Costa did a spinning back kick and hit Robert Whittaker right on the button. And you could see that Whittaker stumbled back a little bit, and I thought it was wraps. But good thing for him, good thing for Whittaker, it happened in the last 10 seconds of the round. He kind of composed himself a little bit, threw a few punches, but if that would have been with a minute left, I think Costa could have done some work and could have won that fight. Unanimous decision. I don't know how I feel about that. Costa is still that dude. He's taking a lot of time off. I think it was his first fight since Rockhold, and he hadn't fought before that since Izzy. Izzy really did a number on him, like he does to a lot of fighters. But seeing Bobby Knuckles back in there after he got knocked out, TKO'd by Duplessis, who is the current champ in that division, was good. I'm glad he got his dub. So that middleweight division is weird, because you got Adesanya who ran through that division for years. He's not a champ. You got Sean Strickland, who beat Adesanya and then just lost to Duplessis. That division, I don't know. It's wonky. It's got a lot going on, and I'm hyped to see what happens. I'm hyped to see what the next fight is, what the next championship fight is, because we're going to see that belt's been moved around the last few fights. That boy Gravy in the building was good. Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Main event, Volkanovski, Ilya Topuria. Bro, I had a feeling about this. I love Volk.
I put $5 down. That's the last time I'm going to bet on a main event. I don't bet more than $5. And if I put $5, I expect to win. And I lost that $5. And that seemed like a lot. But for me, when I have a small amount in my account, it's probably like a fifth of what I have. So I was very disappointed by this.
I love Volk, man. I thought Volk, just what Volk has done. He's ran through that division as well. In the last few years, he moved up to 155 to fight Islam Makhachev, and he lost both times. The first fight, questionable. Some people said that he could have won it. I thought Volk won it. Second time was on super short notice. I think it was less than 2 weeks, maybe like a week and a half notice. He stepped in and fought because Charles the Bronx got hurt in sparring training camp. And he stepped in. He even said it. He said he wasn't prepared for it. He was drinking a lot, and he just wasn't mentally ready. And for people that don't know, mental and mentality is a big part, probably bigger than physical. Yeah, you got to be physically in shape to go out there and fight. But if your mind's not right, bro, there's a lot of jitters. You got 20, 30,000 people in there. You got music. You got a lot going on around you that you might not be ready for. And yeah, we seen it. He got kicked in the dome and got knocked out. And then, I mean, this fight going up against Ilya, yeah, we've seen Alex go through Max. We've seen him go through Ortega. We've seen him go through Yair Rodriguez. We've seen him go through a lot of people in that division. But I think Ilya is different, man, and he showed it. He just keeps coming at you, pause, and he caught Volkanovski with the nasty 1-2. I'm gonna play it. It might get taken down, but it's short. It's worth it. I'm sorry, we don't own rights to this video, but I mean, I gotta show this. I'm gonna play it real quick.
Try to make it. If it's a quick one, it might get away with it.
Yeah. If Ilya gets you, you can see right there. You can see right there. As soon as Ilya goes like this, he's in shock of what just happened because
yeah.
You're fighting Alex Volkanovski. You know who you're fighting. You know he's a great. And yeah, you're prepared for the moment. And he had been confident going into it. He had been, as a lot of people were saying, cocky. But this is what he's been training his whole life for, bro. This dude's been in the MMA since he was 4 or 5 years old. They said it before. And he just has a certain swag about him. He has a certain demeanor about him that is different, that not a lot of fighters carry. And that's one thing that separates
I didn't know too much about him before.
Regular, fighters from top 10, 15 guys, and then from those top 5 to a champion. That separates you from the rest of the pack. And Ilya's got it. And I love it, bro. I love when there's a change of a champ because it just means the sport's progressing. That means there's more people in it. That means there's more really good fighters in the sport.
And another way too, with how UFC is big about not only who holds it as a personality, but what country it is. He's from Spain, which I didn't know before. I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And then as a Real Madrid fan, Real Madrid made a post for him, him being a Madridista. Usually Real Madrid fans, once they know you're a fan of their club, whenever anybody in another sport does something, whether it's tennis or something like golf, they'll post about you. And Real Madrid has one of the highest social media followings in the world for a franchise. So the fact that they posted him, now it brings another entity. So he just became, not only did he become big because he won a UFC title, but for a social media account like that to post him, it just made him a little bit more known. So people that don't even watch UFC might be like, who's this? Let me check him out. So that's huge.
I saw a post yesterday. It was, 12 hours after the fight. He had gained 600,000 followers overnight. He went from 2.3 to almost 3 million.
I didn't even know that. And that goes to my point. Okay.
He's still young. He's 27. There was a lot of comparisons, people comparing him to Conor.
Right? I seen that.
Yeah, it was a lot of shots. Tattoo-wise, same age, But also, he probably studied Conor. He probably was watching Conor.
Everybody's got idols. Everybody's got people that they look up to. And
your idols become your rivals. He called Conor out. He said, Conor, if you still got balls, come and fight me. And Conor said, I got big balls. I got 4 kids. But I don't think Conor cares about that stuff anymore. Conor's chilling. He's a billionaire. He's hanging out on his boats, on his yachts. He's got a Lamborghini boat. He's doing whatever. I don't think Conor really, his heart's not in it anymore.
But for me that doesn't know Buddy, if I see that and then he loses, I'm like, he's a fraud. But now that he won, it's like, hey, you don't know in UFC. You don't know. I'm telling you, and that's the one thing about UFC that I respect. You go from a quote-unquote nobody. Like I said, I didn't know him, so I'm not saying he's a nobody, but a quote-unquote nobody that he's not a household name to all of a sudden in 2-3 fights, he's main eventing and still, beating the best. So that's what I love about UFC. You could go from somebody that's not a household name to a household name in one fight for sure, but multiple fights. And that's your window in UFC small. Not everybody has a Conor McGregor career. Not everybody has a Volk career where, they're fighting at the highest level for 5 years consecutively. You have a small window. Yeah. So most of these guys have a window of 1 year. You know what I mean? Think about you talk about the average NFL
injuries,
career is
everything
is 2 years. In the UFC, it's a lot less. Your average career, and I say career meaning high level fights, it could be 6 months. It could be 1 year that you have one one pay-per-view fight, and then you're done. You're in the prelims now. So it's not as common as people think. So you got to take advantage of it. So shout out him, because from the hype or whatever he, if he mimics his game or his personality after Conor, and then he calls him out and goes out and do it, 100%.
Yeah. So no, it was a great card. Card was stacked. Now, I mean, they're already looking. Real Madrid plays in Saint Bernabeu. How do you say it? Bernabeu.
Bernabeu.
Dana White already said that he's looking at trying to do a UFC event in there.
Yeah, NFL's doing their first game there next year, I believe.
So, I mean, you get these guys that win from other countries. It's just going to bring more money to those countries. It's going to bring more fans. It's good when you have different champs, when you have up and comers like that. I'm not saying Ilya's an up and comer. Obviously, he's a fucking champ now, but now you're going to have a UFC pay-per-view in Spain.
All these businesses, I'm telling you, this is why the NFL, the NBA, the UFC, they're smart. Like Dana White probably looked, and business-wise, as a Dana White fan, he's thinking only about the business. He probably loved it after the fact with the Spain entity, and now you could build off that. And NFL's trying to go Europe. NFL's trying to have more Europe. They have as I look at, dude, I'm telling you, this could happen perfect time. I'm watching WWE Raw right now. Michael Chandler right now is on the screen at WWE Raw with a microphone, and he's talking. I don't know what he's saying because it's on mute, but I'll watch it after. He's doing a full promo right now. That is so crazy. It just makes sense that we're talking about UFC and how they're taking it to that next level. And now I'm watching the Raw, and this man's doing yelling into the mic. I can't wait to watch it right after. He's calling somebody out or talking about something.
Probably calling out Conor.
He's going in. His veins are wow. This is sick. Whatever he's saying is getting the crowd hype. So the UFC WWE cross is happening. It's in full effect. That just happened, obviously, in the winter, fall. Officially, that deal just went down with TKO. They're going to integrate UFC and WWE, and no matter what you have to say about pro wrestling, it doesn't matter. It's entertainment, and it also and it's $1 billion industry. So whatever your thoughts are, it doesn't matter. It's entertaining, and that's what we all care about. We want entertainment. Yep. The Rock coming back, all these things, WrestleMania. We're literally talking about how UFC.
I got a new favorite wrestler
too. To that next level. It's crazy. Who?
That former LSU soccer player. I don't know her name.
Oh yeah, Parker. Her last name is she's
Miss Parker.
Yeah, Miss Parker. She's on the lower level NXT, but she'll probably be called up with all her.
Yeah.
And if you have a social media buzz, they'll call you up and give you a chance because if you could sell some tickets and you could sell some eyeballs, you'll definitely give a chance. That's funny.
Next pay-per-view is stacked. It's right in our backyard. Well, your backyard. My former
$299
Miami. Yeah, it's in Miami at the Kaseya Center. Main event
is
Cheeto Vera. Cheeto Vera, Sean O'Malley. You get Sean O'Malley in Miami, man. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. There's some other good fights. We finally got the main event for UFC 300. It's going to be Alex Poatan Pereira and Jamal Hill. That's going to be a stack card. The Bronx is on it. There's a lot of good fighters on that. It's going to be in Vegas. But, I mean, like I say every fucking episode that we talk about UFC, man, the UFC is just a gift that keeps on giving. So I'm hyped about that.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, UFC, just to hear, and they've had documentaries and they have things about it, just to watch how UFC has developed, and Joe Rogan talks about it on his podcast, how, when they first started the UFC, that they had eye pokes and everything legal, people dressed in their own
there was no rules.
There was no rules. People dressed in shoes and had their own gis on.
People fighting
in
different weight classes.
It all evolved, and obviously boxing, and there's so many politics between combat sports in every state, so they had to fight and claw. It wasn't just given to UFC. They had to earn their right. I mean, just up until 5 years ago or 3 years ago, they couldn't fight in UFC.
COVID changed.
UFC couldn't have fights in Madison Square Garden, New York City, because that's where boxing was king, and then you mean to say you're going to take away? So there's a lot of politics and, probably a lot of, money being thrown under the table and a lot of corruption. And that's what they say. But the fact that UFC is here and it's now becoming
It's not
global
going
and now
anywhere.
partner up with WWE. That's the one thing
Yeah.
that WWE doesn't do is fail.
When
So these
COVID
motherfuckers are
started,
ready to go. Awesome.
and the UFC was the only sport really that people could watch because they were testing all their fighters and they were doing it all in the Apex in Vegas, and they didn't have no fans, and you can hear every single strike. That was amazing. That was amazing. So
UFC was the only thing putting on live events during COVID.
Yeah, I think that's one of the few things sports wise that COVID did better for sports. It really launched the UFC into a different spectrum.
And I do respect Dana White because he went on interviews as a businessman and talked about how out of every industry that there was going through COVID, we didn't let off a single person employee wise. We didn't let go of people to save money and whatever. They stuck with their employees and they fought through and they lost money. And you got to respect that as a company. And they knew where this industry and their company was going in the long haul. And they said, hey, we'll get through this. We'll figure it out. We're not firing anybody. You got to respect that as the face and the businessman behind the scenes. That's this one.
Did you see this? This is like a hilarious.
So, I still don't know if this is a work.
Inspiration. You are a philosopher. The way you do business, the way you conduct your business and your friendship.
Looking like Harrington in the background.
Is I'm jealous. But Dana, I can't thank you enough for being here.
Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it. I am so fucking tired of doing podcasts. I'm literally done with them. I'm not doing any more podcasts.
Bro, I don't understand this though.
Bro, there's still no official word that I've seen that
how
this
he's
was fake or not. I have no idea what's going on. And Dana White isn't somebody commented, or I seen a comment like Dana White's not going to do this for like a work or like some like type of viral thing. He's not like that. He's not going to go viral just cause. So it could have been real, but it's funny because the week before that or that same week he was on Pat McAfee show and he goes, I love doing podcasts. I love doing certain shows. Obviously that maybe Howie Mandel is a comedian and he tends to ruffle feathers a little bit and he's a little quirky in his personality. So it could have been real, but Dana, man, he's a savage. Let's wrap it up on UFC though, so we could get into one.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much just UFC 299 in Miami, March 9th, I think, stat card. So I'm hyped for that. And then 300 April 13th.
Yeah, I got to write that down in my my planner so I make sure I clear my my schedule for that. One thing I did last week, we mentioned it. Kanye West put out an album with Ty Dolla $ign, Vultures 1, and Vultures 2 is, I didn't know, is coming out in 3 weeks, I think, in 3 weeks. So I gave it a listen at the gym on Thursday, and I'll be honest, I haven't been able to, I don't listen to music like I used to. I'm pretty much podcast 98, 99% of any time I'm listening.
Fall out the sky, you know.
Bro, I
stuck in my head all
I
weekend.
listened to it back-to-back days at the gym, and I don't listen to music when I'm at the gym unless I need a little boost. Listen to it at the gym back-to-back days, and then I listened to it at the camping. Put it on the speaker. I showed Drew. He messed with the album. Showed Bree on the way there. She loved the album. So there's Kanye West, and it's the highest streaming. Oh, let me see those stats. Let me read them off real quick. You good?
All right.
No, you good.
Right. So Vultures ends the week as one of the most successful rap debuts of the decade. Biggest sales week of 2024. Kanye West's 11th #1 album. Ty Dolla $ign's first #1 album. Biggest sales week of Ty's career. First #1 independent album of the decade. 11th biggest Spotify opening week of all time. #1 in 110 plus countries on Apple Music. Most #1s ever for a collab album on Apple Music. 109. Carnival is Kanye's biggest streaming week ever for a song on Spotify, 33 minutes. Carnival will be his highest charting single in 15 years. Wow. Higher average streams per track than Donda, 16 minutes. 20 million plus in Yeezy merchandise sold, all after missing a day of tracking.
So
Dude,
the
they
reason
try
why
to
I
cancel
believe,
Kanye.
yeah,
They
they
tried
try to
to
cancel, and that's
blackball
why
him.
it's one
He
of the
did it to
biggest
himself, to be
comebacks.
honest.
Yeah, no, of course, it's all self-inflicted, mostly self-inflicted. But
He knows what he's doing,
art,
though. He does that shit on purpose.
the one thing about art and being the best at your craft, Kanye at his state of his career as a rapper might not be the best, and that's not what this album is for. He puts people in his songs. Ty Dolla $ign is beautiful, and it's weird to say the word beautiful on this album because I love Ty Dolla $ign. I love all of his music. I think he sonically he's
Ty Dolla
so
$ign's legit.
pleasing audibly on tracks, and it just makes sense for there's a few artists that make sense on with Kanye West, like Kid Cudi, like a Young Thug. There's certain artists that just make sense with Kanye, and Ty Dolla $ign is definitely not somebody I saw being on a tag team partner with Kanye, and oh my god, it works out so beautifully. And there's so many songs on that album that are good. That Carnival song I looked into, I think one of the reasons why it went so big is globally. He has the Inter Milan, which is an Italian club in soccer. Their chant is that go, 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 go. And he recorded the actual fans, excuse me, that do that chant. He recorded it live to get that. And that's one thing about Kanye is production wise.
Yeah, no, he had a lot of samples.
Yeah, he'll
He had
never.
a lot
One
of
of them got
samples on
banned.
it.
One of them got copywritten, so he couldn't
And
put it
there
out.
was-
Which about his mom.
It felt like there was a lot of things that sounded like some of his old shit from
Mm.
some of his old albums too.
There was a few
caught.
songs that I was like, wait, that sounds like Wolves.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds
Yeah.
like
Yep.
the Yay album. Yeah. There's a few of those, which I
Yep.
liked it that it wasn't like almost identical, but it touched on it. A lot of songs was like a blast in the past. It was very,
Right.
very well done. And just when we thought Kanye wasn't, I love the Mike Tyson. Did you hear the Mike Tyson sample? So
Which
I think so there was I forgot what song it's on. It could have been Carnival, one of those popular songs, but Mike Tyson, there's a clip, and I'm pretty sure it's from the Joe Rogan podcast. I could be wrong. He talks about like, hey, of course Kanye sounds like a crazy person. Of course he's crazy.
At the end,
Most leaders are crazy.
Yeah,
And then at the end, he put the clip from when he did I'm a God. I love that. Yeah, that was a great sample. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm pretty sure he said it on the Joe Rogan podcast last time he was on, but I could be wrong. He did say that on a podcast. That's for sure. Yeah, if you haven't listened to Ye's new album Vultures 1, definitely listen to it. It's one of those.
Yeat's album is good too. I know a lot of people don't like Yeat, but Yeat's album's pretty good.
Yeah,
I've been bumping Yeat's album too. Yeah, listen to Yeat's album. It's pretty good.
I can't open myself up to new artists at this point unless it gets shown in front of me because
Yeat at the gym.
I just can't open
Yeat at the gym, undefeated.
All right, I'll give it a chance. I'll go to the gym tomorrow and listen to it. I'll give it a chance.
One last thing.
Anything? Go ahead. Shout outs or anything, topics you want. Yep.
Before I'll share a few videos. We're almost a minute, an hour 20.
Yeah, good. Hey,
so
we're on our own time, brother.
Yes, sir. Chat GPT launched Sora this past week. If you guys don't know what Chat GPT is, it's an AI generated chat. You can type whatever into it. It'll chat back to you. It keeps the conversation going. You don't have to go back to what you said at the beginning. It keeps it going like if you're talking to a human. It's one of the best things. I copy and pasted my resume onto Chat GPT, and I was like, fix this up for me, and it changed words for it. It changed the order of things. I was like, okay, thank you. Now make this more to stand out more for sales position jobs. And it did that for me. I was like, change the wording on this, change this, this, and that. And it did it all for me. And that's just one of the few things it could do. If you need help with whatever, it could write a paper for you. It could help you with whatever you have going on. I think AI is one of the most insane things. And the only thing that I'm worried about is just how fast it's advancing because there's so many people using it. And I think it is good because more people using it, the better it's going to get. But at the same time, we don't want it to get too advanced because there's way too many movies out there that we've seen with supercomputers, we've seen with robots, we've seen with, you know, whatever the case may be about shit getting too advanced, taking over the world, taking over humans, whatever the case may be. And I haven't really messed with it yet, but I'm going to check it out. I've seen a lot of videos on Twitter. Sora, you can literally type into it and it'll generate a video. So this is a thread. These are all artificial intelligent videos. None of these videos are real. They're just generated by a software. And they all look legit. And this was 24 hours from when it started. So this tweet was February 16th. So just a few days ago. This is one of them.
Okay.
They just typed in tabby cat running through the woods or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of see, if you look into it closely, you can kind of see it, you know, the background and how things look and whatever. You can see it's a little generated. But I mean, dude, that looks crisp. That looks like it was shot on the newest iPhone or on a nice camera. That's clean, crisp.
Yeah, that's crazy that none of that's real.
Legit. That's one of them.
Sick.
This is another one. An insanely detailed video of a woman's eye blinking generated with AI using Sora. Like, bro.
So wait, none of it is real? Even the person?
No. None of it is real, bro. It's all generated by artificial intelligence.
That's so scary.
A space movie trailer generated by Sora. So this is a trailer for a space movie.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where we are. That's where we're at in technology, and we call it scary now. But the same people that thought television was scary, the same people that thought social media was scary. There's going to be good and bad of it, and it always turns out that it's always more good than bad.
A futuristic city in harmony. That's sick.
One thing they haven't figured out is the movie writing and quality hasn't gone up. Where like movies are still down. They're only doing sequels and remakes these days, and things that are based on history. Like, you know, like look at Barbie, look at Oppenheimer. They're always going back to what worked at one point. So as a movie buff that I guess I call myself a little bit, because I am very big on movies. Movies and shows are very down these days, huh? So we'll see if maybe AI takes all these writers' jobs and create better movies and shows.
Prompt: a stylish woman walks down Tokyo street filled with warm. So this is what someone wrote. Hold on. This is what someone wrote into the generator. A stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears black leather jacket, long red dress, and black boots, and carries a black purse. Wears sunglasses and red lipstick. So you can be descriptive as you want, and it'll do its best job.
Yeah.
And this is what it came up with.
Yeah.
Dog, are you kidding me?
The reflections in the water and all
Bro,
that. It's funny because all the AI pictures now, I see social media accounts, whenever they make a post, they post obviously according to what they're saying. They'll post like an AI picture of, like, for example, I've seen like Florida Panthers are the first team to do X, Y, and Z, and they'll do, instead of copying and pasting a picture from another source, they'll AI generate it. But it's funny because AI doesn't have like certain AI for pictures don't have the fingers figured out. So that's how you know it's AI generated. But like things will evolve obviously quickly. It's just funny how like you could tell sometimes when it's AI generated, like a picture. But yeah, it's scary because it's like, it's actually, you know who's it not scary for?
Look at this.
Celebrities
in the snow, dog.
Celebrities and shit. How many times how many times we'll see videos, photos, and audio of a celebrity saying the wrong thing, doing the right thing? Nowadays, now you might get away with, hey, that wasn't me. That was somebody AI created that.
Yeah, that is
You know what I mean? Like you might have that in your back pocket of like people. I think Joe Rogan talks about it all the time. There's so many Joe Rogan podcasts of AI of like, he has so many hours of conversation. So you put his voice and you could spit that out. He has said every single word known to man on his podcast for 1,200 episodes. So like you could easily AI that. So to the point where if anything controversial comes out about Joe Rogan, he could be like, I didn't say that, whether he did or not. It's just like another thing where it's like, we're not going to know what's real, what's not real. That's actually, we should probably stop that conversation because I'll add that to the list for talking about next week because I could go off on another 30 minutes. Any shout outs you got for, no, I appreciate that. Any shout outs you got? I know one shout out you should have.
Shout out Mike. It was
Family-wise.
Mike's birthday on Valentine's Day. I'm hyped about that. Although he was sick, man.
What's
This
the other
poor guy
one?
gets sick. What?
Soccer player.
Oh yeah. I guess we could talk about it. Let me finish, Mike.
It was
Happy
on
birthday,
social
Mike.
media. Of course you could talk about it.
I know. His
not breaking
41st
news over
birthday.
here.
Poor dude, man. He gets sick on his birthday every year. He was feeling a little bit better on his birthday. He was off from work. We went out. I didn't have work until like 5 that night, so we went out around the town, had a few drinks
Shout
at
out,
the
Mike.
bar.
Beautiful man.
Did our thing. So yeah, and then happy birthday, Mike. And then, man, Gabby Cruz,
Awesome.
Charlie Dennis. They're
Congratulations.
about to welcome a baby. We're hyped for it. She posted it. I want to say
that's gonna be a
month or two ago.
good looking lad. Whether it's a male or a female, it's gonna look good looking lad.
Baby, man. Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited for that. That's pretty
awesome.
cool, man. I'm really hyped for that, and we'll see how that goes.
Let's
I
get
really
Charlie
have
on
no
the
words
pod.
for him,
Season
man.
about to start,
Yeah.
so we got to get him on that ASAP.
Yeah, no, shout out to Gabby. Gabby gonna be a mom. That's crazy. That's
awesome.
Crazy, man. Yeah, I'm happy for them.
Congrats.
Good shit. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I definitely wanted to mention that shit.
Yeah, I've been so busy this weekend. I went to comment or post or like at least DM, but I didn't have a chance. I'll go back and do it. But no real shout outs from me. Other than I'll be at the Panthers game, so some content coming there. We have to get some people on. We got to do it because I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing just our voices, but we're trying to become pretty good at this thing. So we are using this time post NFL season, there's not much sports going on. So this is the times that we could kind of get into some content that I think we could have some good discussions and stuff like that. So we don't want to force any guests on. So if we overpromise and underdeliver, we apologize. But we know when we have a guest on, it's not going to be because they were obligated to feel like they needed to be on, or it's just genuine. So sometimes these things take time. So we'll do our best to have somebody on next week, like I said again, and we'll keep it rolling. Any last words for episode 113, brother?
No, just like, comment, subscribe, repost, anything you can do to help us out is much appreciated. I was trying to make some merch, but it didn't work out how I wanted it to. So we're trying to figure that out in the next week or two. See where we can get.
We'll go through the process.
More quality, and we'll go from there.
Love it.
That's it.
For episode 113.
Thanks for everyone that commented, tuned in, that watched.
Yes, a lot of people.
We appreciate that. So
always. If you don't, if you want to send this podcast to your friend or family members, we appreciate it. Tell them to subscribe and like. We'll be back next week, same time, Monday nights, every single week for episode 113 of Escobar, Fort Sama. Enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace.
1.